When President Franklin Delano Roosevelt did the exact same thing and erected Japanese internment camps, was FDR prosecuted?
He was not.
Cruz asked the Obama question that Democrats did not want on the record.
The nub of the Democrats' argument today is that the concept of presidential immunity is somehow unprecedented, is somehow remarkable. That claim is utterly ahistorical and disconnected from the entire constitutional history of the Republic. General Mukasey, before 2023, how many times has the President of the United States been indicted?
None.
Before 2023, how many times has a former President of the United States been indicted?
None.
In the last 2 years, how many times has President Donald J. Trump been indicted?
Multiples.
4 times, I believe.
Now, many presidents of both parties have engaged in controversial actions, and yet none of them have been indicted. Let me ask you, General Mukasey, if a private citizen were to erect an internment camp and to forcibly kidnap American citizens, to single them out because of race,
FDR.
and to imprison them based on their race, would that private citizen be subject to criminal prosecution?
Yes.
When President Franklin Delano Roosevelt did the exact same thing and erected Japanese internment camps, was FDR prosecuted?
He was not.
Let me ask you, similarly, if
Guys, understand, right or wrong here, like the presidential immunity is like legitimately a thing here, guys.
prosecuted?
He was not.
Let me ask you, similarly, if a private citizen were, say, to detonate a nuclear weapon over a city and kill over 140,000 people, and then if that private citizen a few days later detonated another nuclear bomb over another city and killed 75,000 people, could that private citizen be criminally prosecuted?
He would.
Was President Harry Truman prosecuted for detonating nuclear weapons over Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
He was not.
All right, how about this? If a private citizen launched a weaponized drone and killed a United States citizen, could that private citizen be criminally prosecuted?
He would.
Was President Barack Obama criminally prosecuted when he killed United States citizens using drones without notice and without due process?
No, he wasn't.
Although, as far as due process is concerned, I believe the comment of my successor to that question was that Anwar al-Awlaki got, quote, all the process that was necessary.
Well, although I suspect he might disagree with that assessment were he able to present his case.
Right.
All right. Let's contrast that with the rules that govern other federal officials. You were a judge for 19 years. As a federal judge, did you have immunity from your official acts?
For my official act, yes.
Yeah. Do federal prosecutors have immunity from their official acts?
They do.
Now, the distinction between official acts and personal acts is not a terribly shocking distinction. Under the decision of Trump versus United States, if any president walks onto the sidewalk and just shoots a citizen, is that president liable to be prosecuted?
He is.
How about this? If a president steals funds from his campaign, does that president face criminal liability?
He does.
How about this? If a president sexually assaults, let's say, an intern in the Oval Office, is the president subject to criminal prosecution for that?
He could be.
Clinton.
So that distinction, again,
Allegedly.
is not a shocking distinction. The Founding Fathers vested the executive power in a single president of the United States. What we have seen in the last 2 years is we have seen Democrats deliberately weaponizing the Department of Justice and our legal system to target their political opposition. It is not an accident that every indictment against President Trump was brought by a Democrat, and was brought after he announced his campaign for President of the United States. Understand, the target of those indictments was not ultimately President Trump, it was the voters. It was prosecutors who were terrified that the voters would choose to re-elect President Trump. One of the great things about the United States is we're not a banana republic. Since 2000, the nation of Pakistan has had 6 former prime ministers prosecuted and convicted. Brazil has had 3 former presidents arrested and imprisoned. Last year, Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega arrested, charged, and imprisoned 40 political opponents.
I think all of us pretty much know that we live in a very partisan politic type of place here. Everyone is pretty much backed into their corners, obviously, here. And when Trump basically said that he was going to be the president of the United States of America, then he had a gigantic amount of people that were willing to vote for him. That basically shook the entire like establishment politics type of environment here, right? Because Trump obviously is an outsider here. He doesn't care what he says to you, nor does he really care about your feelings when he's speaking. He's this type of individual, and that kind of by default offends deeply the entirety of the left, it seems here. When Ted Cruz is pointing out the facts that you didn't care when all these other things happened, don't understand this here. You could have cared, because most people did care when people, you know, were being locked up in cages and things were being dropped on gigantic cities. There, of course, were naysayers here, but be fully aware here. In order for the federal government or any type of like law enforcement to even be able to function, let's just say this here, there always needs to be some type of immunity, or the people that are applying for these type of agencies here, they're not going to be able to do their job here because all they're worrying about is being caught up in any type of like legal strife, right? If that makes any sense here, guys, right? And we do have baked in guidelines for some of these things, but if you are the president of the United States of America and the founding fathers basically dedicated a specific amount of like just outrageous power, you can't hobble the president's ability to keep the United States of America safe here, right? You may not like the man, but it doesn't change the fact that he's a president of the United States of America and he has the ability to do a lot more than you would like him to do because you just don't like him. And based off of all of the videos you guys have been sending me in kind of regarding all of these hearings and regarding Washington, D.C., and regarding all of these things surrounding Trump along with the presidency, I'm starting to realize they just don't like him. Right? That's it here. They don't like him. So whatever he does, if he breathes too heavily, they're going to try to indict him for something kind of regarding that right there, bro. Like, it would be great if we can kind of come up with like a solid balance where the president of the United States of America will have the ability to keep the United States of America safe without the partisan-based attacks and indictments. And me being a student of history, I can absolutely attest to the facts that presidents generally don't get charged after. And just be glad that we do not live in an actual banana republic. Seriously. Guys, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, guys, I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next one. Click one of these. I'll catch you guys later.